The Lord says that He works all things together for the good of those who love Him. And if you love Him, you will do His commandments. So, if you love the Lord and you believe those words and you know that He works all things together for the good of those who love Him, why do you need to argue with your husband to get your way, to do things your way? The Lord commanded you to submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. So if you believe that you have a better way of doing something and your husband wants to do it a different way, do it his way, because that's what the Lord commanded you to do, to submit yourself unto your husband as unto the Lord. And He will cause all things to work together for your good. So you might think you have a better way of doing it, but there is no better way than the Lord's way. And the Lord commanded you to submit yourself unto your husband. So once you do that, then it doesn't matter which way your husband wanted to do it, even if it's the most ridiculous, dumb, retarded, hard, difficult way of doing that thing. The Lord will work it together for your good. And that is how you build your relationship with the Lord. Because the word says it, more blessed are those who believe without seeing, right? You don't see how this is a better choice. You don't see how whatever way your husband is trying to do is the better way. But you believe in the Lord. You trust that the Lord said He is going to work all things together for your good if you obey His commandments. You trust that, you trust that, you trust that. So you do what your husband asks you to do, even if it's not your first choice. But the Lord is your first choice. He's Alpha and Omega Almighty. So you obey what the Lord told you to do, which is to be your husband's helper. And as your husband's helper, you do what is helpful. It's not helpful to be argumentative and combative with your husband. You all are supposed to be one. The Lord makes all you one. But just like the Lord says that He doesn't hear sinners. He doesn't hear sinners, and He just turn His face away from a man who is in sin, right? When you are disobeying the Lord's command to be that helpful wife, that virtuous wife, when you're disobeying that command, guess what? You're disobeying the Lord. So He's going to turn His face from you. And what does that look like in the tangible reality of things? It looks like you and your husband drifting apart. It looks like you guys having small arguments over every little thing. It looks like, oh, it's just not the same. We don't love each other the same. We're drifting away. We were different people, and now, we grew up, we got married young, and now things aren't the same, and we are not in love anymore. Not in love anymore. The Lord is love, and love does not change. So if you truly have love for each other, that doesn't change. It doesn't fade away. That's something that the world, that's something that worldly people say, oh, the love faded, and so we were growing apart and decided to get divorced. Well, then there was never truly any love there, because my God is love, and He does not change. He's not a man that He should lie. He keeps His word. He keeps His covenant, right? And so if you say you love your husband, you love your wife, then you're supposed to keep your word. Never leave or forsake them, just like the Lord never leaves or forsakes you. So that's the message for today for both wives and husbands.